Next up, we got the whole industry struggling. Which industry? And how? Let me know.
Another day,
Let me know
another
which.
disaster in the esports industry. Today, we have to mourn the loss of an esports icon, someone whose passion for the industry as well as their non-stop involvement in the space is something that's very powerful and special, something I think we can all learn from. I'm talking, of course, about Snoop Dogg. Snoop
Oh,
Dogg, as you
wow.
know, is one of the founding fathers of FaZe. He's been with the company for about a year now, and honestly, it's probably what he's most known for now. Aside from all of the other success he's had in his career, FaZe is probably what Snoop Dogg is most known for. And unfortunately, we're going to have to hold a funeral service for him now. Not because he's like actually dead, but because he's dead to esports. He has resigned from FaZe. According to their SEC filing, it wasn't due to any disagreements
Damn.
between Snoop Dogg and FaZe Clan, and it's only been a little over a year since he
It's
joined
no
in the
longer
first place.
Snoop
I'm
FaZe
of course kidding.
Lion?
I imagine most of
What
you
the
didn't
fuck,
even know
bro?
Snoop Dogg was part of FaZe Clan because they made this big hoopla one time when he signed up.
There's
But he
probably gonna be a
couldn't
lot of those, like the basketball player, whoever the fuck that nigga was. A lot of them motherfuckers probably gonna drop off of that shit. They make no goddamn money no
be
more.
bothered to show up to the announcement in person, so instead, all they've ever done together is have a picture of Snoop Dogg holding the FaZe Clan chain. That's really about it. That's about where his involvement in FaZe stops. He took one picture with their chain, and that's it. He said, "All right, my job's done here. Thanks for the
Said I'm an
shares
official
and the
FaZe
payday,
member.
I guess. Glad to be here." And he just kind of rode that for over a year. Just a severe case of goofball brain here with the decision to bring Snoop Dogg on to FaZe as part of their board of directors as well. This isn't a decision that is exclusive to just FaZe. This was actually a trend in the esports space where a lot of mainstream celebrities that have never touched the video game in their life all started being brought on board as kind of the face of organizations. So
Like I was
Snoop
just
Dogg,
saying.
that was supposed to be his role. And the idea is these mainstream celebrities open their brand up to new viewers, new potential customers, which will hopefully allow them to make more money because those new customers now might buy merch and help them actually generate a profit in an industry where profit is a forbidden, illegal word to use because it just doesn't fucking exist. In esports, profit is like finding a leprechaun's pot of gold. It's impossible. There's no such thing. There's very few orgs that turn any level of
Facts.
profit. It's
Esports is just straight loss of money because, yeah, no, there's not even much else to say. There's not much monetization that goes on in the esports world.
very rare.
Especially compared to actual sports. Like, they're making not even a
So
fraction.
they all got desperate and thought this might be the play. Grab celebrities like Snoop Dogg, and hopefully we'll get some new customers that'll help us get in the green. And it clearly has not worked at all. I think the idea, like the logic behind it, makes sense, but you'd need a celebrity who actually knows what the fuck is going on in the industry, or at the very least plays games.
I mean, Snoop does play
Dogg
games, though.
streams occasionally, but for over a month he couldn't even be bothered to turn audio on. He streamed completely.
I remember that
and
shit.
he never noticed. He'd go over a month, with just a completely fucking.
I remember that
like
shit.
You were sitting in a fucking sensory deprivation tank when you had a Snoop Dogg stream on. I guess maybe it was good for like sleep aid. That, might be a real argument you can make, but he is clearly not someone who ever understood esports to begin with. This was just supposed to be like a desperate Hail Mary to hopefully get new audience to, buy into the FaZe brand. And we can really see.
You can't call Snoop Dogg not a gamer. Didn't Snoop Dogg have his own game? Hold up. I swear. Yeah, right here.
How well that worked for FaZe in particular here. The proof is in the pudding. This is a recipe for home runs. They can't stop winning here. Look at this fucking stock price, absolutely crushing it. So the point is, it's not something that FaZe alone is struggling with. All of esports is kind of imploding right now. The bubble has finally burst. In addition to Snoop Dogg making his grand departure from the space, CLG yesterday announced that they're pretty much folding as well. I believe they're being purchased by a different entity, but overall their operations are ceasing. They're halting all of their esports spending. I think the only thing they're keeping intact is their league-related arm. All the rest are being flushed down the shitter, so there's been mass layoffs, a ton of people banished to the Shadow Realm overnight here from the CLG closing of their doors, and it's a huge surprise to everybody. Especially because even just like a couple weeks ago, they were making new signings. Like they just signed 2 new Smash Brothers Melee players, and now not even a full month.
That's the thing, though. Where where's the money gonna come from in signing these Smash players and shit? Because, like, sure, it's all retro and it's nostalgia. Like, people used to love the shit, but who the fuck cares anymore, to be honest? No one cares anymore. And especially, no one cares to the point where you're just not gonna make money. You're just not gonna make money doing this shit. So, it's understandable. And I don't know what they did. They were just holding on for too long. They're just holding on for way too long. Because in all, no one gives a fuck anymore. It's just fact.
Later, they're like, actually,
The only people that
company's
still
done.
give a fuck are the people that are the people that are actually like in the shit. Other than that, no one really fucking cares.
We're completely changing everything. So a spokesperson has apparently said that they're trying to, better position their company for.
The only major tournaments that I ever see actually get like hundreds of thousands of views on Twitch and shit live are CS:GO, League, and Dota. The only 3 games. Only 3
long-term
games.
success and looking at alternative business strategy. I guess that strategy is give up and roll over because that's what it really feels like, hoping that someone will purchase the remnants, the skeleton crew of CLG. And it's not like I blame them. Like I said, the industry is just not generating money at all. Esports does not make money. And that is a lesson that everyone is now learning in that space. And it's something that myself, Ludwig, Matt, Danny, all of us knew beforehand when we made Moist Esports. We knew that this industry was held up with fucking imagination, like SpongeBob and Patrick in their box. All it was imaginary valuation on all their shit and hopium that eventually they'll be able to somehow make money. And that's not the reality of the situation.
Facts.
So we knew going into it this was going to be losing.
It honestly
money
just
out
went
the wazoo,
downhill.
maybe forever.
It
and we're
never
fine
went
with it
up.
because it's a space we are.
When it was at that like max hype in like 2014, it never really went higher.
Hello?
Thanks for the follow, Dwellering. But yeah, this shit never really went higher.
Genuinely passionate about, but all
It's going
the
all right so far.
companies
Going
don't
all
have
right
the
so
same
far.
luxury that we
Being able to
have.
react,
They
Andy.
do need to make money in order to continue to exist, and they really can't right now. So all of their business
About
strategy over
yourself?
the last like 5 or 6 years is eating them alive, which is why so many of them are experiencing these massive layoffs or just completely vanishing. Like another one, E United recently had to fold as well. It's just been a really tumultuous period in the esports scene. I don't think esports as a whole are going to die, like competitive gaming isn't going anywhere, but these orgs are they're having to swallow a very tough pill and learn that they've been making terrible decisions for years now and it's not working out.
What you stressed
So
about,
CLG
cut?
is the most
What's
recent
got you
victim
stressing?
here. But again, them and FaZe, they're still not alone. Even earlier this week, TSM, one of the biggest names in gaming, had to announce that they are going to have to be making changes
Damn.
as well. They're pulling out of several titles as well as just kind of pumping the brakes pretty hard on a lot of their other ventures that they were pursuing.
But the real question is, does this mean Snoop Dogg started the domino effect? Was Snoop Dogg the real reason everything was being held together for so long? Because once he left, all this other shit went to the shit. I think there might be a
It was
correlation.
even reported that they were considering selling their slot in the LCS, which is almost blasphemous because TSM's been in League of Legends like since the fucking start. I mean, that is crazy. And of course, most of you probably remember that they had a huge deal with FTX. A $200 million deal that was also included with naming rights, so they were TSM FTX. But
so they
we all
lost
know
some
how
bang.
FTX, turned out. That fucking fairy tale ending. Absolute disaster, which
Oh,
of course
damn,
was a
that's
huge
a
hit to
fucking
TSM,
ass
but they did
day.
make a statement saying that they were
Damn. Yeah, how did you run out of gas? It tells you how much gas you have. How'd you run out of gas? It tells you in front of you how much gas you have.
strong, profitable, and stable following the cancellation with FTX.
I never understood that
But
because
now
I've
gotta
never
question if
ran out of
that's
gas.
true, or if that
It
was
tells
just a
you how
load
much
of
gas you
hooey.
got.
Because Jesus Christ, this is a huge deal. Selling an LCS slot, especially for an org like TSM, is a crazy thing to even think is right around the corner potentially. Now I understand LCS itself is kind of dying. It's treading water. Let's just call it like it is. We don't need to be huffing any copium here. The LCS itself has not been doing great. League overall has been fine. Like other regions have been doing great in some cases, but the LCS in particular, not so much. Viewership is not looking amazing. People don't really get excited about it. So
yeah, it's like I was saying,
that is also something to consider.
People
with the
don't really
TSM,
care anymore.
Situation here, like
That's what happens when
maybe
you
they just
draft
feel
these
like it's in their
states
best
in rural
interest to
areas.
sell it, you know, because
Ah,
they want to ensure
yep,
that they
fair
can
enough.
remain profitable
Fair
and
enough.
stable. So
What
they
are you,
could be
fucking
doing
road
this
tripping,
as a
or you just
preventative
fucking long
precautionary
drive?
measure to make sure they don't bite off more than they can chew down the line should the esports industry continue to get worse. So maybe they aren't as bad as it initially appears here, with them like halting a lot of things and pulling out of some titles. But either way, it's still at least alarming because the industry itself, all of esports, is just not healthy at all. It is held together by fucking toothpicks and glue. It's like making
all
those
these
old,
$1 million
spaghetti
tournaments.
Fortresses. Like
Yeah, I bet they're looking back like we don't think we had to give them $1 million.
That is pretty much the entire esports space, and right now that spaghetti building
Live in
is
New Mexico
really
and ran out
wobbling.
of gas in
It's
Texas.
just-
Damn.
It's sad to see, but it was also the most
Damn.
predictable shit ever.
I
don't
feel
know
bad
how
for whoever
people
had to
didn't
run the
see this coming
gas.
sooner. Like even on the outside, I know a lot of viewers are like, "Man, how the fuck are these esports orgs even profitable?" And the answer was
Where was the
always,
closest
"They're
gas
not."
station?
But for some reason, the orgs themselves never had this eureka moment, this flip of the light switch to like, "Holy shit, this is going to be bad pretty soon. We're not able to actually recoup our costs." And
For
now
real.
they're panicking, they're folding, and it's chaos, pandemonium. And I just wanted to talk about it a
So
little
is
bit
Moist
because
Esports gonna
obviously
take
I'm in
all
the
of it?
industry with
Is that
Moist
what I'm
Esports,
hearing?
Of course, so
Moist Esports is buying TSM? That's what I'm hearing? Moist TSM? Drop the do it. You got it. You got it. I believe. When's this next wrestling video coming out though? That's what I want. I want some more Moist wrestling. That shit was lit.